Государственный флаг Российской Федерации.
For all its pomp and circumstance, this is not the Victory Day parade that President Putin was hoping for, not even second time round. Russia is still mid-pandemic. More than a dozen cities called off their parades again because of concerns about COVID. These veterans bust in fresh from 2 weeks self-isolation to make sure they and the president stay safe. But rallying patriotic fervour through the memory of World War II and the Soviet Union's colossal loss of life there is a tried and tested Putin tactic. And he has a vote to win on changing Russia's constitution.
Today, when we have COVID...
Yevgeny Stupin, who's a deputy for the Moscow City Parliament, wants it stopped.
It was a great mistake. And,
He's filed a lawsuit saying it's a crime for people to go to the polls when COVID is not under control. And he thinks this is a constitutional power grab.
Of course, there may be some other reasons as well, like a desire not to be a lame duck, right? But the main reason is his wish to stay in power as long as he can. And this constitution will provide it for him.
This is Moscow's famous Patriarch Ponds, the place to see and be seen. Released early from lockdown, Muscovites are out and partying, but some are worried that it won't last. I think there will be a second wave after the vote, this woman says. It seems to me that everything is leading up to it. Yulia Voronovskaya is a lawyer and one of the few we meet who's actually read the amendments, one of which is to make sure that future presidents can't rule for more than 2 6-year terms.
Actually, it's not bad because it would be like, you know, like you have your time, like 6 and then maximum 6, and then you cannot be president again.
Except for this president.
Except for the current president. They make this exception. You know, it's stability here.
In the bookshops where masks and gloves are still mandatory, a telltale sign that this vote's a done deal. The Parliament and the Supreme Court have already approved these constitutional amendments, and in fact they are already out in text, ready to go into force once the people have had their say. The written evidence that giving this vote to the people is really little more than a formality bordering on a farce.
It's a very...
Ilya Azar is a well-known independent journalist and local councillor. He was one of the organisers behind last summer's demonstrations in Moscow, but he doesn't expect there to be more.
At the moment, people are a little scared to be arrested. And also I feel uncomfortable calling people to go out onto the street because they can be fined. So to be honest, it's difficult to protest.
Vladimir Putin has watched his approval ratings sink during this pandemic, trust in his leadership at an all-time low. Even so, the polls predict he'll get his way on this. He may not be so popular, but he's still powerful. Diana Magnay, Sky News, Moscow.